Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for being here this afternoon with us at our virtual platform for the scientific lectures hosted by Georgia Archaeology Authority. Today, we are pleased to welcome Dr. Hurst Mashner, our special guest from the United States. Dr. Hurst Mashner is the President and Chief Scientist of the international NGO Global Digital Heritage. He's an archaeologist specializing in 3D imaging, digital heritage, and virtual museum. Originally trained as an architect archaeologist, he received his bachelor degrees from the University of New Mexico, his master's degree from the University of Alaska, and his PhD from the University of California, Santa Barbara. He has held professorship at Idaho State University and the University of South Florida in the fields of anthropology, archaeology, and geosciences. For 10 years, he was director of the Idaho Museum of Natural History. He is the author of or co-author of 15 books, 152 articles and book chapters, and over 250 conference papers. He has or is currently conducting archaeological or digital heritage project in Alaska, Honduras, France, Guatemala, Italy, Portugal, Spain, Uzbekistan, Morocco, Turkey, and of course in Sharjah at Emirates. Today, he will be sharing with us his expert opinion on the 3D digitization for heritage, archaeology and education, global digital heritage, and the Sharjah Archaeology Authority. Dr. Hurst, mic is yours.
Good morning.
Good morning.
One moment, and I will come to the video. Good morning to everyone. Thank you for participating today. I want to thank you for the Sharjah Archaeology Authority for sponsoring this, this presentation, and I hope you find it interesting and entertaining. I'm going to go back to the PowerPoint now. I'll be moving back and forth between PowerPoint and video, and if there's any problem, somebody just yell at me and tell me what's going on, and I'll try to fix it. Okay, so share screen. We're going back here. There we are. And so this is the presentation. Let's see if I can get this to move. Okay, so Global Digital Heritage is a not-for-profit private research and education organization dedicated to documenting, monitoring, and preserving our global digital and cultural heritage. We use digital visualization, 3D virtualization, geospatial informatics, and open access solutions to provide digital data and 3D models to governments, regional institutions, museums, local scholars, and of course, the public. A key element of our mission is the democratization of science. We make all data freely available to the world in support of cultural heritage, heritage management, education, public access, scientific research, and to enhance the digital humanities and all the sciences. So we use these virtualization technologies to digitize entire collections, entire museums, entire archaeological sites and landscapes. We create virtual repositories of specimens, museum collections, archaeological sites, and heritage landscapes that are available to any student, any child, any scientist, or any enthusiast, any member of the public, anywhere in the world. We create online analytical tools for education and research. Our virtual repository approach allows for the study and appreciation of places, monuments, and collections on a global scale, and provides a means to highlight the importance of those collections to communities around the world. In the face of an increasingly hostile world, a global landscape where conflict, natural disaster, tourism, development, and climate change are destroying our shared cultural heritage at accelerating rates, we provide 3D digital services to document and preserve places and specimens important to cultural heritage. We then return all of the data and results to a host institution or regional local authorities who can do anything they wish with the materials, anything at all. So now I'm going to give you some examples of our work from around the world. This is a series of short videos that show some of our activities. So the first one I'm going to show you is our documentation of the Roman temple in Évora, Portugal. Okay, this is our documentation of the Museum of Natural History in Paris. Just to give you an example of what we can do with the laser scanners. And it seems to be moving a little bit slowly. And so I'm gonna fix something here. Just give me one moment. I'm gonna stop and go to my video here. And Alex, can you help me find where that was yesterday? Because it's not doing the video appropriately. And where's the sound? Okay, let's see if that works a little bit better. Yes, it's working a little bit better. I still don't have the sound, Alex, from yesterday. Okay. And so this is what kind of work we do in museums. Now, if we're in the field, we do things like this. We are working, this is the Roman theater at Sagalassos, Turkey. It's a combination of drone data, laser scanning, and ground-based photography. So just to give you another example of how we approach large-scale architecture. Okay, I'm going to pause for just a moment and try to fix the sound on something here. Something's not quite working the way we want on the videos, so just give me one moment. I cannot find where we did this yesterday. Okay, we think we're set. Okay. All right, we'll go to the next one. It's always a challenge in this time of COVID to do new presentations. This is a project we did in 2019. These are all 3D models we did with photogrammetry and laser scanning. They're from a number of different sites spread across Sharjah, Dibba, and Malaya, things in the museums. And we'll come back to Sketchfab and I'll show you some of the models in a few moments. Okay, so this is a thing we did, a short video of some of our work from the air, because an important part of our digital documentation is just documenting heritage from the air to make sure that we have these permanent records. Of course, we also use this to create the 3D models. Some of our work in Spain. Of course, Turkey, Sagalassos. Work in Portugal. In Italy. France. Just examples of some of our drone work. Now moving directly to Sharjah, we have two campaigns, 2019 and 2020. And the two field campaigns totaling approximately 30 days, we documented over 300 artifacts, 100 archaeological sites, historic buildings and excavations, and we took over 300,000 photographs and 650 laser scans. We've now finished more than 500 3D models, all of which are online, and I'll show you some in a moment, to create the largest collection of 3D heritage data in the world from a single country. These are some of the places we've worked in the 2 different years. Everything from Neolithic to 19th century, if not later, 20th century, and artifacts going back as far as the Paleolithic. And here's an example of some of the photos we've done, artifacts, the 2 years, sites and features, and the total number of photos is down here that we've taken, approximately 300,000. We also do 360 images, we do lots of video, laser scanning, a complete documentation package. In the field, one of our primary techniques is the laser scanner. We use laser scanners from Faro. These are accurate to approximately 1 millimeter and produce a scaled 3D model, exact replication of whatever we happen to be scanning. We also use handheld laser scanners for some of the more difficult artifacts. And the majority of the work we do in museums is photogrammetry, and we have a number of turntable systems that we use to document the heritage. We also are very interested in having exact data for georeferencing, so we have a differentially corrected GPS that we can use in the area that gives us accuracy to about 1 centimeter. I'll come back to this site in a moment. Here we are mapping individual rock art panels at Qatam al-Maleha in Kalba, in Sharjah. We'll come back to this in a few minutes. Here we are, and we also use the drones, of course. Here we are at Qatam al-Maleha in Kalba. just to give an example. And in the next video, we'll see some more imagery of Sharjah that we did just this year. This was all from February of this spring. This is at the Malaya Archaeological Center. This is at Jabal Abu Hayas. So if we look at Jabal Abu Hayas, for example, on this site Al-Madan, we go from taking photos with the drone to a 3D model such as this. And the process we do this is a couple of different software programs, but this is a accurate 3D representation of the reconstruction at this site. So where do we put all this information? Well, now we're going to go to a website called Sketchfab. And this is where we keep everything for right now. And we'll go to the Global Digital Heritage page at Sketchfab. And I may have to share this. Yes, I do. One moment. New share. Sketchfab. Share. Okay. You should all be seeing our Sketchfab page right now. And this is where we keep all of the 3D models. And if one goes to collections at Sketchfab under Global Digital Heritage, this is where we have everything from Alaska, from Portugal, from Sicily, from Sharjah, of course, from all over the world. And we'll go down and look at one of the collections here. And this is a collection of materials we scanned in 2019 from the Sharjah Archaeology Authority. We can click on one of these 3D models. We can raise it up to full size. And this is a Roman glass from the important excavation that Dr. Sabah did at Dibba. And it's a beautiful piece, and you can look at it, you can blow it up, you can zoom in and see the details of the glass. We can go find a different item. We can pick, let's pick ceramic. Here we go, from Malaya. Takes a moment to open. And here we have one of the reconstructed vases from Malaya. You can upside down. And this, of course, excuse me, can be exported to programs where you can do measurements right on the screen, and you can do cross sections and different kinds of analysis. We can also go to some of the archaeological sites. Let me go back to our collections. Collections. We have a whole collection of just the field archaeology from Sharjah, where we have the recent Spanish excavations here, tombs of various kinds, an unexcavated necropolis here at Jabal Abu Hayas. We can pick, we can look at, let's look at the 3D model of the 19th century fortification at Fili. It takes a moment to come full resolution. Here's the whole excavation and the ruins of this site. And you can go right in and look at individual aspects of the stones if you are interested in such things. Let's pick a different site. We will look at a tomb. tomb 61 from Jabal al-Bahas. And you can see the resolution is quite good. The accuracy is within a centimeter. If you were to do measurements on this, you could do measurements right here on the tomb and not even have to visit the actual tomb. Now there's different ways you can look here in this. You can search in collections. For example, we can go just search on Sharjah in the general website, and then we can go to collections, and you see all of our different collections. We'll come back to Khatam al-Maleha, the rock art site, in a few minutes, but this is the work we did this year in the Sharjah Archaeology Authority. This is the collections from the Malaya Archaeological Center, all the sites, and different things here. We can look at some of the coins, for example, we did this year. And you see the resolution is really quite good. And these are all scaled to the 100th of a millimeter. And anything else you might want to look at in this, what we did this year. Neolithic arrowheads from various sites, new finds, Bronze Age, stone bowls, ceramics, sculptures, pieces of bronze bowls, seals, combs from India, the coin mold from Malaya, various kinds of things. You can also search on a particular site. So you could go to Jabal al-Bahas, and you can see all the artifacts, regardless of collection, and all the sites and tombs from Jabal al-Bahas, just like that. Or if you're interested in Dr. Sabah's excavations at Dibba, we can see the artifacts there. I don't know why that is there, but most of the things from Dibba are here. Or, for example, Malaya. So that's just an example of how Sketchfab works. You can go to Sketchfab and create your own account, and all of our things can be downloaded for free and experienced on your own personal computer. They can be used in education. They can be used for training. You can even make 3D prints, or you can put on virtual reality goggles and look at them in virtual reality. So now I'm going to go back to my PowerPoint presentation. One moment, please. Okay, we should be back to the PowerPoint, everyone. Now we're going to look at some other things that we're doing, ways to do advanced analysis with some of these collections, 3D printing, holographic displays, augmented reality, and then eventually we're going to see some virtual reconstructions we've done with the collaboration of the Sharjah Archaeology Authority. So one of the interesting things we can do with these 3D models is we can unwrap them. We can show the designs as a panel across an entire item. So this is a stone jar with particular designs. We can unwrap the 3D model and see the exact pattern of the decoration. We can also bring these models into other programs, and you can do measurements right on the screen. So you can do measurements, and you can use any unit of analysis you would like. This is in centimeters or millimeters, of course, 29.26 millimeters for this little bronze horse from a ceramic bowl. We also, of course, keep track of everything with GPS. This is just a Google image of Khatam al-Maleha, the important rock art site near Kalba in Sharjah. And now we're going to go to our collection there, and I'll show you some more interesting things we can do. I'll have to share this screen. To share. Here we are in Khatam al-Maleha. Excuse me. So here's the site, and it's a very, very interesting place. We mapped it with drone, and then we did differential GPS. So this site is geo-referenced to a few centimeters over the entire landscape. Here's the whole mountain. The rock art you'll see is mostly in this area here. There's a shell midden here, and these numbers give you information about these places. So for example, you can click on this and we talk about probably an early Mesolithic period, late Paleolithic shell midden. The Oman Sea would have been very close here. But we can also go to particular places on the map, on the image, and look very closely. So what you see here are perhaps some Neolithic stone houses, or maybe even earlier Mesolithic stone houses, here and here, a scattering of them. There's no ceramics on this site. There's some more house platforms over here in this area. Here you see some probably Iron Age or Bronze Age tombs, very much like you'd see at Jabal Abu Hayas or one of the other sites. And then of course, the area of rock art is in this area here. So now we'll look at some of the rock art. This rock art has been exposed for many years on the surface, so some of it is very difficult to see. So for example, let me find a good example here. Here is a nice piece of a Syrian wild ass, probably Neolithic if we look at comparisons with Oman or elsewhere. And you can see these are all scaled, so you could do measurements right on the screen with this. And to make it more visible for the public, what we do is create something like this, where I use a special program that allows me to paint directly on the 3D model. So you can see this also in VR, and it gives you a nice visual image of what the item might have looked like. But some of the things are very difficult to see. So for instance, here is an ibex. And you see it's very, very difficult to see. So what we use then is a software program called D-Stretch, which allows us to look at chromatic differences in the photos. So we can enhance the photos so this ibex is much more visible. Let me give you another example. Here's a nice 3 images. The natural image here of this, I don't know what it is, but maybe an ostrich or something, but maybe just a symbol. Maybe it's a symbol of something very difficult to see. We can use the D-Stretch image enhancement to get a much more powerful image to show us the exact design. Then we can use our painting programs to make it clearly visible for people who want to see it in virtual reality. Some of the rock art patterns are much more complex. Let me scroll down to some of these. Some beautiful ones with horses and snakes, or asses and snakes and sun symbols, mostly people. But here's one, for example, where we used multiple enhancement techniques to be able to see images that were very difficult to see with the eye. And here you see horses, ibex, some kind of strange symbols, I don't know what these are, a footprint, and other kinds of things. So some of the images are very complex. There are over 150 stones here with rock art and over 500 different symbols. So this is a work in progress. We're only about a third of the way done with this site, but we're still continuing to work and create these images for the Sharjah Archaeology Authority and for the people. Okay, now I'm going to go back to my presentation. New share. Back to the PowerPoint. Here we are. Everybody should be back to PowerPoint. Okay, so one of the things we do for education, and we've created a number of these 3D prints for the Sharjah Archaeology Authority. We did Acheulean hand axes, we did sculptures, we did ceramics, and we use a printer called a Raise 3D. It's a mid-level printer, but it allows us to print very large items, up to 60 centimeters tall. And so the next video is a video of printing a sculpture that we scanned in Sicily from a Roman site, the goddess of Morgantina. It should start, yes. So we did 3D documentation with cameras, created the model, and then we output the model to a low resolution format so they could be printed in a 3D printer. With anything, entire sites, down to points, for example. Another thing we're working at is holographic displays. And this is my son giving a demonstration using an important vase from Sharjah as an example of bringing these 3D models into holographic displays. And we can do this, of course, with archaeological sites as well as individual artifacts. And so this is going to be an important technique for the public, for school children, for education, and eventually for research. But right now, it's just a great technique for being able to share rare and important heritage with the public, things that you don't want them to hold or don't want to move them around between museums. This gives an opportunity for people to share heritage in many different ways. Another thing we've been working with is augmented reality. So here you see a vase in my phone sitting on the tabletop, and of course there's nothing on the tabletop. So how we do this is a number of different programs. We optimize the 3D models, and we can share them then in any iPhone or iPad or Android device. And here's a video example of an important sculpture from Maleha in augmented reality. So anyone could do this. It'd be on your phone and you can show it right on your own desk and look at it and experience in 3 dimensions any of these items that we've scanned. Okay? The next example shows what we can do by showing the actual size of the item, and then we can make it larger to make it more interesting in the augmented reality. Another way we can do this is you can hold your iPhone or your iPad and walk directly into a monument. So here we are, the Tomb of Amud, and you can walk right in to the monument in your phone and experience it and turn around and experience it in 360 degrees. And we can, of course, do this with an entire site. We can do this at Katama Maleha, or we could do this at Maleha, or at any of the tombs, or Korfakan. It doesn't matter the scale or the size. We can walk right in, and people can walk through the archaeological site. Finally, I'm going to show you in a few moments our virtual reconstructions. Here's one of our virtual reconstructions, the tomb brought into this same program so you can experience the virtual reconstruction in your iPhone or your iPad. And these are some of the vases that we scanned straight from the excavation. Perfect. Okay. So now what we're going to do is I'm going to show you some virtual reconstructions of some sites we've done in and projects we've done in Sharjah. The Al-Mitfa Mosque in downtown Sharjah, 19th century, the Tomb of Amud, Malaha Fort. And this is where we take the archaeological data, we take reconstructions done by archaeologists in relation to the excavations, we use information from the excavations to do a virtual reconstruction. Now, these have to be seen as hypotheses, right? It's not perfect, and we're using historic information to make it as accurate as possible. So here's the Al-Mitfa Mosque. Here are site plans and sections that we've done based on excavations, based on historic documents, and based on our discussions with architects in Sharjah. Here is a 3D model. Here is our first draft of the virtual reconstruction. And now we can make a film showing how this might have been lived in perhaps the 19th or early 20th century. So that's our interpretation based on our conversations with people in Sharjah and the archaeologists and the architects. Now we will go back 2,000 years to the tomb of Amud. I don't know why that is there. Escape. Okay, next. So the tomb of Amud, this is our 3D model that you have seen earlier in the presentation. And these reconstructions were based on a number of sites in the Malaha area. Different examples. And here is the virtual reconstruction. Okay. the last thing, I see someone has a question, but what we'll do is we'll show the last video and then I will take questions. I have one more image to show you. That. One more image, if I can get back to it. Here we go. That's not how I want to do this. One moment, please. One moment. Okay, I'm having one small moment of difficulties. If you just please be patient. Here we are, I'm getting there again. No, no. Okay, I lost Zoom, Alex. There we go, Zoom, share screen. Right there, I need to do this. Share, go back one to here. One moment, please. Sorry. Here we are, we're back. Thank you. So this is our, on the Maleha Fort, and the last video I will show you, and then I will happily take all the questions that you might have. This is a project we did just this spring. It was perhaps the most challenging of the reconstructions. No, this isn't the right one, is it? Oh, yes, it is. This is it. Thank you. Sorry. this is how we experiment with different hypotheses for the reconstruction. We can take things out, we can put new elements in. If somebody has a suggestion, we can add them. It's all good, it all works to the benefit of the reconstruction. Okay, back to the PowerPoint if I can. Here. I don't know why all this is here. Let me just go back to my video. And we'll go back to me. Let's see. How do I get Alex? How do I get myself here? Full screen. There we go. Okay. Well, I hope you enjoyed this. I want to thank Dr. Sabah and Mr. Isa and all of the workmen and staff at the Sharjah Archaeology Authority and on all the sites that helped us do this. It was an amazing amount of work, and we're really appreciative of all the help we received. That's really the end of my presentation. If anyone would like to ask a question or have comments, we'd very much be interested in sharing our information or knowledge. We have the Sketchfab I showed you. You can go to the Sketchfab page and see all the models. We also have a great number of videos on YouTube. We have a YouTube channel, Global Digital Heritage, and you can see all of our videos from around the world. And it worked out, and so please visit there and follow us if you'd like. And we really look forward to doing more work in Sharjah. And if anyone from other countries or places would be interested in having us work, we'd love to hear from you. We work closely with local communities, and we are available to do this kind of work pretty much anywhere in the world. And so with that, I see people have raised hands. I don't know what to do here, so let me figure this out. I'm new to this. Raised hands, raised hands. I don't know if I can link on that more.
Dr. Harbert, thank you so much for enlightening and entrancing presentation you made. We are very grateful for the time and effort you took to share your thoughts and experiences on digital documentation. Before we start with discussion, I would like to ask dear listeners to fill the questionnaires, please. And now we can start the discussion. I saw raise hand. Let's start with Mr. Jamal Saif. Mr. Jamal Saif. Okay, Miss Samira.
Jamal Safi, responsibility from the archaeology section.
Hello.
Yes.
Hello.
Mr. Jamal Safi.
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
Do you hear me? Hello. I am Jamal Safi from Dubai Municipality. I am from archaeology section. I work in the 3D laser section in Jordan before I came to United Arab Emirates. But I am wondering to ask the question, what kind of machine you do to scan the small artifacts like the arrowheads or the jar? Do you use the same Faro machine or another kind of machine? Thank you.
Yes, to scan the small items like coins and small jars and arrowheads, we use both techniques. We've developed a number of photogrammetry techniques. We can put them on a turntable and do multiple sides, and then we stitch all the photos together in software. But we also have handheld scanners from Faro Scanner, and we also have experience with the Artec Spider Scanner, both of which are very good for doing 3D representations, 3D scanning of very small items. Especially the handheld scanners that do structured light scanning or various kinds of blue light or whatever light are very good for shiny items and metals. But we have developed photogrammetric techniques as well. So we use both of them. And if you're in Dubai, the next time we're in Sharjah, perhaps you can come visit and we can show you how we do it.